Hey everyone, welcome to another $1,000 strap search. I've got my $1,000 in singles here and I'm about to show you what I found. But before I do, let's talk about this week's tip. Many people are still, I shouldn't say still, many people check Coinstars looking for silver. And I do the same thing whenever I see one. And I was lucky enough to find this here, 1946 silver dime. 1946 Denver silver dime. So yeah, there's still silver to be out there to be found, especially going through Coinstars. Much easier than getting an entire box and trying to look through. But anyway, I did find this, but it got me thinking a little bit more about silver because I've been seeing a lot more people saying $100 silver, and yeah, we've done this before. I'm gonna try this a different way. There's a lot of people that really want to see silver hit $100. That's roughly a 5x thing. Silver's about $19, $20 or so, depending on what day of the week this is. If you really want silver to go 5x, the only way that's going to happen is if everything else goes 5x. So if you are paying $5 a gallon for gas, and you want silver to go 5x, that means you have to be willing for gas to go 5x, which would be 25 bucks a gallon. That's what people don't realize. Everybody that's rooting for silver to go through the moon is rooting for everything else to skyrocket with it because, well, let's face it, that's how the value is placed on the particular item. The value of the dollar versus the value of the metal. So for silver to 5x, yeah, if everything becomes 5 times more expensive, silver will also be 5 times more expensive. That's what you're rooting for if you're rooting for $100 silver. So yeah, your 1 ounce of silver, congratulations, you just made $75 profit on that. Granted, you can't buy anything else for it, and once your 1 ounce of silver is gone, now you're stuck with all the high prices that you wanted, so your silver would be worth 5x. Good job. Luckily for us, silver is not going to 5x. It's not going to go to 100. It's not going to go to 50. But hopes and dreams, right? Once again, even if you're hoping for silver to somehow get to 2x, to get to 50, well, then your $5 gas will be $10. Your $8 Starbucks will be $16, and so on down the line. So be careful what you wish for. I don't understand why so many people want to sit there and call themselves patriots and, oh, America and patriotism and all this while they're rooting for all this to happen. So just think about that. Ask yourself what you think the price of silver should be and then where you fall on that spectrum. If you think silver should be $100, well, you're rooting for the wrong side. Anyway, that's all I got this week. Let's slide this out of the way and take a peek at what I found. All right, I found a Where's George. I don't recognize this particular stamp, so I will be logging this one, and it's got it on this side as well, so that's kind of interesting. Found a birthday note, 1970, June 13th. So that was a fun one to find. Found some trinaries, 0s, 2s, and 3s on this note. 6s, 7s, and 9s. This is 1s, 3s, and 8s. 1s, 5s, and 7s. Too bad that 1 is there, otherwise it would have been a binary. 2s, 3s, and 5s. Once again, just 1, 2 on there, so yeah, that could have been really nice. 0s, 3s, and 4s, also just a 1-off. And that's just dirt. 0s, 1s, and 9s on this note. And here we've got 1s, 2s, and 4s. Really crisp. Then I've got quads. Quad 1s. Here's quad 3s. Quad 3s again. A little bit of a dark overprint. No big deal there. Quad 6s. Another quad 6s. And quad 8s with a 5th. And some stars. 2017 star. Checking to make sure they're not filled stars. Another 2017 A star note. 2017 star note, not filled. Another 2017 star. Another one. So I'm still finding stars. Here's a 2013 B star note. Just to let you guys know, I just sold 10 more of these in horrible condition. 10 of them I sold. I got 150 bucks for them. I don't know who or why people are spending $15 a piece for raggedy stars, but they are. Remember, they have no value until you actually match the pair, and even that value is going down. So I don't know why. Let's put it another way. If you pair the two notes with the matching serial numbers, you're probably going to be able to auction them off for about 20 grand. So that means you and the person that had the other pair will each get 10 grand minus taxes. That puts you at about 5 grand. Not to mention all the work involved in doing that. Well, if people are spending $30 a piece for these notes, if you have 100 of them, that's 3 grand. If you have 150, that's $4,500. Why would anybody spend $4,500 on 150 notes hoping to match a 1 in a million thing? So it just doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. Why would you spend $4,500 to try to make 5,000? And like I said, the more sets that are made, the lower that price goes. So yeah, I don't get it. I'm selling mine. I really wanted to find a pair, but I can't sit back while people are doing stupid things. I'm a poker player. I make my living off of taking advantage of people making bad decisions like that. I'm out here telling you people it's a bad decision, but people are going to do it anyway. I can't save them all, so all I can do is tell you guys this is what's happening, and I've tried, so I'm selling them. Anyway, that is the 2013 Bs. There's another 2013B, and it's not all of them. It's only certain numbers. I did a whole video saying what the range was on those. Here's a 2001, starting with the older notes. 2001 here, 1999 here, 1999 as well. 1999, that is an ink smear. That is a genuine ink smear. Granted, it's not a printing error. It is quite literally from a pen. An ink pen exploded, causing ink to smear all over that note. So, yes, it's an ink smear. No, it's not worth anything. Let's see, 1995, checking to see if it's a web note. It is not. 1995, also checking to see if it's a web note. And no, it is not, but it's really crisp. Another 95, still not a web note. 1988A, looks like somebody colored in George on this particular note. This note is pretty rough as well. But even as rough as this note is, you can still see how dark the seal and the serial numbers are. This is not an error. People are going to say, oh, it's faded, but only the third print is right. No, not the case. Not an error. Another 88A, also not a web note. Looking at this, it gives the appearance of a little bit of a solvent smear, but I can't narrow it down to that because it could have been simply if the bill got wet and someone had smeared it. Yeah, I'm not going to call that one a solvent smear. The solvent smear that I have that involves this, it's clear on all 4 of the numerals here, and it's very clear on here. This is kind of iffy. If it is, it's very minor and wouldn't have any additional value. But if you don't have one, that's a placeholder anyway. Let's see, another 88A, also not a web note. And the oldest note I have is a 1985. All right, so that's what I found this week. What did I pull out? Oh, wait, no, I did find one other note. Check this out. Found in circulation, a 1963 Star Note, Chicago Star Note, 1963. I checked this in the book, and it's anywhere from $4 to $11. That's pretty good for finding in circulation. Normally, when you find 63s, they can be pretty trashed. This one's in decent shape. It's off-cut a little bit, which is kind of surprising for a replacement note, but I'm not going to give it any additional value for that. Still, a 1963 Star Note found in circulation. That's pretty cool. All right, so what did I pull out this week? This week, I got myself an MPC, a military payment certificate. I mean, it says it right on there, military payment certificate. So when you see someone talking about an MPC, not an NPC, not a non-player character for you young'uns, or maybe not even that young anymore, but MPC is Military Payment Certificate. This particular one you can see is the series of 641, series 641. What that means is this 5-cent military payment, the series is actually 1964, and the 1 indicates the first series. So first series of 1964, 5-cent military payment. Not quite that impressive. Here's the back of it there. I mean, it's a cool looking note, don't get me wrong, but a 5-cent note, you know, what would be so special about a 5-cent note? And, well, you can see this is actually a replacement note. This is the equivalent of a star note for military payments, MPCs. And the way that you know that is normally, you can see this letter J here. Normally, it would have another J at the end of the serial number. So it would be J000105525J. This one doesn't have the second letter. And that's how they notated the replacement notes. If you ever see an MPC that only has the first letter and not the second, that's the equivalent of a star note, and those are worth quite a bit more. Now, I pulled out my green sheet to see what the MPCs say here, and take a peek. Mine was the 64, there it is, 641, and you can see M881R, that's the replacement for 5-cent. The very first one was M881 5-cent, but if you go about halfway down the page, you've got M881R for replacement. And even in VG8, you're talking 45, and fine 50, and VF, you're talking 55. Now, the thing with those prices is this is out of green sheet, and green sheet is essentially wholesale prices. If you go to a dealer, green sheet is what they're going to look at and probably the price they're going to offer you. So by me getting mine for that 55 in VF20, I paid about what a dealer would pay for it. So for me getting it from a dealer, that was pretty good. Anyway, that's what I got for you guys this week. 1964 5-cent replacement MPC. If you learned anything new this week, go ahead and hit that like button. If you like what you're seeing and you want to see more, please subscribe. Love reading all your comments. Guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.